Yo, what's up? We're back, and
We are large and in charge.
nah,
Look,
I don't think so. I don't
no?
think that's
Okay.
I don't think that's what we're doing.
All right, we'll leave that out. Start all over.
Yeah, we're gonna restart.
All right.
We're gonna restart
Everybody
the part.
hang
We'll
up.
be
Start
back.
again.
Everybody hang up and start again. All right. So yeah, this is back. The podcast, that is.
Yes.
And,
Back in black.
Yeah. We're back. And action.
Let's go. Let's tear it up. So what up, T?
How's everybody doing? How are you doing, man?
I'm doing good. I was in a funk. I think I spoke with you first part of the week, but so through Wednesday I started getting back into it a little bit, and it comes and goes, It's like I said, you ever get in your truck, get to the job, put the tailgate down, look at the bucket, look at the windows, and go, what the fuck? I had a lot of those this week.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and then I was doing scratch removal all day on one of these fancy golf driving centers that looks like they tried to clean the windows with a rake. I'm like, what did you use? Did it make carbide tip rakes? Because that's what it looked like. I mean, dude, they contracted me for 25 windows. I said, you pick the 25. So they put blue tape on the frames. I spent before I went away, I spent a day and a half there. And then I come back this week and the tape's gone. So I have to use my judgment as to what I'm going to fix. They're like, just do 25 windows. And I'm like, all right. So I did 7, and then I was like, oh, I got enough energy to do 1 or 2 more. And then I walk down and I see windows with 4-foot long scratches. And I'm like, yeah, this is a good way to end the day.
Right.
But who is Wacky Window Washer?
I don't know.
Short, sharp, and savvy, or sexy, savvy. Yeah.
I keep playing fucking.
I see that picture.
I don't know if anybody can hear that. I don't know if they can hear that or not.
Yeah, it should be endless. We should make that an endless loop. I wonder what it would take to get that into a ringtone. We could sell fucking ringtones.
Yeah.
Oh, that was interesting that came out because
mm-hmm.
As I said, I've never heard of a failed sphincter. It wasn't working.
Yeah, I don't know, man. So how was vacation, dude?
Dude, I had a blast. I mean, Tennessee is so different than Florida. Everything from the people
mm-hmm.
and obviously the terrain
mm-hmm.
is exactly opposite of what we have here. Yeah, it was. We had an amazing trip, and like you had warned me, driving through the mountains is not an easy feat. And I was like, yeah, whatever. Until when we got close to where we're going, then the grades were 7 degrees or 7%. Yeah, 7-degree grades.
A 7% grade.
7% grades, and we had about, with the trailer and 2 bikes on it,
mm-hmm.
was about 10,000 pounds. Tennessee is not very good at road striping. And you probably don't have them because they have to plow your roads, but we have these reflectors on the lanes. They don't have really much reflectors on the lanes there. So, and then when we checked in,
mm-hmm.
you check in at this main office and then they give you the keys to your cabin. Just getting to the cabin off this looked like a handwritten map was terrible in the dark, and you're climbing grades that are nothing but dirt and about 10-12 foot wide off of a cliff that's probably 5,000 feet,
mm-hmm.
So it did, it clinched me up a few times.
Yeah.
I will say, we put it in four-wheel drive to get up to the top, but
it's a different experience traveling in those mountains.
Yeah. I told you, dude, I got mad respect for truckers. Guys like your father that are towing even single trailers.
Yeah.
Going 60 miles an hour through the mountains when it's raining and fog, and they're blasting by me, and I'm looking like Grandma Newsbaum. My hands on the top of the wheel, white knuckling it, going, I can't see shit. You know?
Yeah. Anybody know where I can get an original gunslinger from? Or you got to get the Bigfoot from Reach It. We don't promote any person buying anything from Perry Tate on this podcast. I would avoid that at all costs.
Well, does he mean an original gunslinger like a Richie Blue original?
Like that?
A prototype?
Like a prototype, that will be difficult to come across nowadays. I would say if you want something that's going to last you forever, just buy a Zero silencer. It may be a little on the pricey side, but you won't have to buy another one. That'll be the only one you have for years and years and years to come. That will last just as long as a plastic bucket. It's made of the same material, the same kind of way that an original prototype is. So they're pretty nice.
Yeah, you have one of those, right?
What's that? A silencer? Yeah. I've had one. I tested it. So
cool beans. How does it test in comparison to your original prototype?
Same thing.
Yeah. Fit and finish is good and everything?
Fit, finish, durability.
Awesome.
Mine's a little tighter than the actual production models. So occasionally my squeegee will get hung up inside the mop, and I'll pull them both out at the same time.
Yeah.
But, Richie just said that he'll be making them soon. So there you go, man. So if you want, just hold out, man, and maybe Richie will start making gunslingers again. I would like to see that, to be quite honest with you, because I feel like the ones that we got to prototype, the gunslinger prototypes, I still have mine. It's, there's nothing wrong with it. It's never leaked. I've never had an issue with it. So, and my Zero silencer is awesome too, except for, like I said, it's a little tight, but that was fixed in the revision before they sent it out to market, which is refreshing.
Yeah.
Yes, and they do guarantee the silencer as well. So, and that's another thing. I mean, Zero, I know as much as them being the big bag boogeyman, they got a no questions asked carbon fiber guarantee. You break a fucking pole, they'll send you another one. All you gotta do is be like, hey, I broke my pole, show it to them or send it to them, whatever. They'll send you another one, no problem. They'll pay for everything too.
Yeah.
You can't beat that, man.
Yeah.
That's really going above and beyond. So I don't know. I was hoping that we would get together and do a Halloween podcast, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen because Halloween's tomorrow.
Well, we could do the day after Halloween or something.
Well, this is the way I think we should focus all of our efforts into a holiday special.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just throw all our chips into one basket. We'll tell the night before Christmas we'll have a rendition. We'll do that. I think that'll be cool. I think we could have some laughs with that. Do the night before Christmas, that story. You read your kids before. We could change it up a little bit. We'll read that. Maybe have some of our Santa's helpers on the podcast with us. That'll be cool.
I think we should work on. So there's a little time on this. I say we work on getting Mark Darnell on the podcast in nothing but a Santa hat. And I'm kind of thinking he'd probably go for that.
Oh, yeah. I don't think you'd have to worry about that at all, to be quite honest with you.
Yeah. Hey, let me ask you, because I spent a couple hours with you there. I'm kind of thinking that your neighborhood is kick-ass at Halloween with a lot of kids.
Oh, yeah, there's kids everywhere.
Yeah, I miss that.
I mean, we go to my mother's mostly, for Uriah to trick or treat, but Raya hands out candy mostly here at our house.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, it's just like, turn the porch light on and, the whole neighborhood participates. Not everyone does, of course, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
yeah.
I think it'll be, I think every kid should at least experience that kind of shit once in their life, so.
Dude, growing up in my mom's neighborhood where she still lives, we go out with the pillowcase. We'd pretty much have to come back and drop it off, dump it out, and go back out. And I mean, because it got too heavy, and my kids didn't really get to experience. We have to go in town a little ways, and we go to my buddy's house for the last 18 years, and my kids walk his neighborhood, and we sit on the driveway and hand out candy. I just love to see the kids dressed up. But like where I live, because there's too much gap between the houses, we don't really get trick-or-treaters. You know, the idea of Halloween where I live, it's just so untraditional to me. But they closed down a major road, and then you got people pull their cars up there and hand it out of the trunk, and then there's a hayride, hayride and shit like that. But it then you got guys ripping around on four-wheelers and swamp buggies and shit, and we went one time and it just seemed so dangerous for little kids. I said, we're just going to go in town and let the kids walk the neighborhoods,
Well, we went to Aunt Tammy's fucking trailer at the campground up there in September, just before. It was like the last week of September we were up there. And we took Uriah up there for trick-or-treating. And the whole campground gets shut down. Like, you can't get in or out. Yeah. They block it off with trucks.
Yep.
And everybody sits out in front of their camper in a chair and fucking hands out candy to the kids. That's probably the coolest I've ever seen, like better than our neighborhood, because even our neighborhood, people are in and out in their car, and we just handed him a pillowcase and said go to town, you know what I mean, and we just followed along with him, and you know what I mean, it was cool, man. I really liked it. I thought it was cool. I think we're gonna do that with him up there at Aunt Tammy's trailer again here soon. Next year, I think too.
That to me is a holiday that's timeless. I mean, it just takes me back to when I was a kid. And like now, JT's 15 and Scott is 19, so Scott's not going out. And JT's he's like, I'm going to put on a Trump hat, my Trump shirt, and I'm going to put an American flag on. I'm like, you're probably going to get egged,
right.
But go out and have a good time, And I know, as sad as it is, it's like when he found out there was no Santa Claus, it just killed me, It's like the innocence of the holiday. So, but we have another year for trick-or-treating with him, so I'm looking forward to it,
Hey, man. Whatever floats your boat is what I say. That's the best thing to do.
It didn't work. I don't know.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, to me, like the way they do it on my neighborhood, it's just not the same.
It didn't work. I don't know.
It's not the same. But again,
I pooped
that's
my
what
pants once.
they've turned it into.
Sphincter didn't work. I don't know.
But the walking and banging on doors and people set spooky shit up in the yard. That's fucking right. What are you laughing at?
Nothing.
What did you do?
Nothing. Just me being stupid. So, I don't know if you've seen my video. Did you see my video that I put up? The last one I put up? Did you bother watching it, Mark?
I watch all your videos.
The week with what do you guys think about that town in Virginia that's going to give everyone?
And then I heard that song. Just in case we forgot it, what's the song?
No,
the rap song.
That's been up forever. I'm talking about the week with Squeegee.
Oh, I watched part of that. I didn't watch all of it. It was a very long. Looked like you were cleaning a Wendy's.
Yeah, I was cleaning a bunch of things. It was like 40 some odd minutes. I'm gonna try to. Yeah. My videos from now on are going to be like between 5 and 10 minutes, and instead of doing the long ones, I'm just going to do more of just quicker edits and just do more uploads.
You created an animal in me, okay? Because when I was in Tennessee, we had the master bedroom, and the master bedroom didn't have a TV, and I kind of got used to sleeping with the TV on in the background. TV was downstairs in the living room, so. I get in bed and I'm like, oh my God, there's no sound, there's no nothing. So I go out to my truck, grab my headset, grab my phone, and put on a Joey Diaz podcast. I swear to God, I'm laying in bed. Kate's like, what are you listening to over there? I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe it. So that's like, I spend all day listening to it so much that.
I knew when I introduced you to Joey Diaz, you would like them. What do you guys think about that town in Virginia that's going to give anyone over 14 a ticket for trick-or-treating?
That's bullshit.
Dude, you know what? This is the thing. Halloween is for everybody. You know what I mean? And it's your discretion. If there's some 18 or 19-year-old person running around trying to collect candy, either give it to them or don't give it to them. What the fuck does that matter?
Well, first of all, well how are they going to enforce that? what 14-year-old or 15-year-old has an ID on him anyway? You know what I'm saying? Like, when I was 14 or 15, I didn't have anything on me to show my age. I say, yeah, I'm 12 years old. What are you going to do? I'm a big kid. You know what I'm saying? That's stupid. What does this world come to?
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, everything is.
I'll tell you this, though.
Everything is to the extreme, to the left or the right. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I'll tell you what. Where I go to hand out candy at my buddy's house, if people show up that look to be older than 14 or 15, and they don't have any costume on, I give them shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, hey, man, make an attempt. What are you dressed as? I'm a teenager. I go, that doesn't work for me. So now you're gonna do a backflip, a handstand. You're gonna earn this fucking candy here, kid.
Right.
You know. Yeah, I make them run in front of a moving car, stuff like that. You know, go on the roof and do a backflip into the swimming pool. But I think
I peed
that's
my pants once.
if that is
You know,
true,
my sphincter
Kevin,
didn't
that's
work.
bullshit.
I don't know.
That's total bullshit.
That your best video was the one with little shorts. Oh, that dude in them little ass shorts, man.
Yeah, McDonald's or something.
My sphincter didn't work. I don't know.
You guys got to let me know if you hear that.
You know, my
I need to
sphincter
know
didn't
from the
work. I don't know.
audience if you can hear that. If you can hear what I'm playing in the background. Can you hear this right here?
I pooped my pants once. You know, my sphincter didn't work. I don't know.
You need to tell me if you can hear that, guys. Contrary to popular belief, I did not make Perry say that in that video. He actually said that he pooed his pants once. His sphincter didn't work.
Well, see, that video came around on the text, and because I can't sit through more than 5 minutes of that bullshit, I didn't hear that part.
Yeah.
I thought you chopped his voice up and did that. I was like, man, that's good editing right there.
No, he did that himself.
Yeah. But you know what that is, T? That's total 100% confirmation that there was stool in the pants.
Yes.
In KCMO.
Yeah,
baby.
everybody, yeah. He just like, listen, man. Everyone thinks that we're like the worst dudes ever. And
yeah, we're full of shit. We make stuff up and exploit it.
and exploit things, and that's not true, dude.
let me explain something to you. Well, I will have to say this. First of all, so that confirms the shit story is true. And guess what, guys? As much as I like any of you, if you shit yourself in front of me, I will exploit you.
Yeah, we're gonna laugh at you.
That's just what you have to do. That. Yeah,
we're gonna laugh at you, man. So sorry, but like I was saying before, and I keep getting sidetracked. If the video, and I spoke to you yesterday, Mark also wants to quit window cleaning. Mark is also having a midlife crisis when it comes to window cleaning.
I am.
So it's not just me. It's like, like when it was, how comforting it was to hear that from you, Mark? Because I feel like,
really? Yeah.
I feel like if anyone's got their shit together, it's you. And if I could be more of another person, I would try to be more like you are, because you got your shit together. So you surround yourself with people you want to be just as good as, you know what I mean? That good role models. You're a good role model. And to hear you say, you say, like, man, I'm fucking, dude, I don't want to do this shit anymore. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
You don't want to do it either? Yeah,
dude, yeah. I'm serious that when it came into my mind, and I don't know if I had heard this in another industry or something or conversation, but when I thought to myself, maybe it was even on Joey Diaz, because I listened to it. But when I started thinking I've been doing this for over half of my fucking life, I mean, look, when I look around, there isn't too much else I would want to do. I'm just fucking tired of it. I'm tired of dealing with property managers and storefront owners and even, homeowners. And it's like that in any industry. But I got to be honest, if the right deal came along, and I'm not saying I'm going to, I would be able to, or I would retire and not do anything.
Right.
I think I'll always wash windows. I think retirement to me would be $1,000 a month worth of storefronts.
Well, if I gleaned anything off you in our conversation the other day about, the grind, it sounds to me it's more to do with bullshit you have to deal with. You don't want to. It's not simple enough for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is what it sounds like to me. It doesn't sound like you don't like cleaning windows. It's just it's not simple enough.
Well, yes. You know what's happened is, like, I'm the guy in the area that I'm friendly with. If any of the window cleaners are around, if there's either a technical job or a scratch or a stain job or a
Hmm.
glass issue, oh, that's Mark's kind of thing. Send Mark out there. That's how I get all my work. But
Right.
or it's like, um, I've consulted with other window cleaners on how to access something, and I don't mind. I love to help people, but
Hmm.
but my point is, the innocence of window cleaning for me is gone. And I've said that before. The innocence of going out at 4:30 in the morning, washing 20 storefronts by noontime, collecting money and going home. That shit is what I hold dear, and it's just not there for me anymore. Now it's dealing with employee
I
issues
peed my
or
pants
vehicle
once.
issues or
My
whatever.
sphincter didn't
I
work.
mean,
I don't know.
and just not fun. I used to, and don't get me wrong, I love the business. I love the industry. I
Hmm.
love a lot of the people that I've met. I met
Hmm.
some really good people, but I think I could go a year. And this isn't just because, look, in 19 years, this is the first time I've taken off 7 days in a row. Okay, and it's not the money. People say, "Oh, you got to
What's
pay
up, Chris?
vacation."
Yeah.
When you work for a corporation, you get 2 weeks vacation a
Right.
year.
Right.
That's paid vacation, right? Well,
Right.
I still paid myself. So it's not about the money. It's
Hmm.
about it's still in my fucking head. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Because I go into town, I'm looking at windows. I go to downtown Tennessee, I'm looking for high-rise window cleaners.
Right.
I'm looking at storefronts. I'm looking at fucking anywhere I go. I'm looking at fucking
I'm the same.
glass.
Yeah, I'm the dude. I think that's all of us, though. I mean, and
Yeah,
I'll
I
tell
would
you
say so.
this. I'll tell you this. I haven't spent more than 2 nights away from cleaning windows since I started this company.
Yeah,
Not more
yeah,
than 2 nights, and normally I spend that time with my family up in Michigan.
yeah,
Every free opportunity that I don't have to work more than 2 days in a row, or I take 2 days off, I go spend it with them. You know what I'm saying? Or like with you
yeah.
guys, you know what I mean? When you guys seen me in Kansas, or I'm sorry, when you guys seen me in Branson, Missouri, that was the first time I had had 2 days off in a row since I think the last time I was in Missouri. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So, no, I
See,
take that back because the following weekend after we got from Kansas City, I went to Shane's wedding. So that counts as 2 nights too. So,
you know what though? I've told you this before. I love my weekends and I
mhm.
love away from window cleaning, and I try dearly not to work weekends. Of course, every now and again you'll have a building entranceway or a medical plaza that has to be done. And that comes along for me maybe quarterly. My guys, two of my guys work every single weekend because they love it. The extra money and whatever. So work is always getting done, and sometimes you think, well, I'm home and I'm making money because they're out there doing it, but there's still your head is still in it. So like Saturday, I'm vegging out, I'm mowing the lawn or doing something around the house or just spending some family time,
Mhm.
unwinding from the week's work, and
Mhm.
then Sunday starts to stress because halfway through the day, I'm thinking about my week's worth of work and what I have to get done. Okay, like what was on my mind in Tennessee for 7 days.
Mhm.
I'm going to get back with 3 days left to the month, and I still got four
Yeah,
car dealerships to
yeah.
do. Yeah, I got to go back to the golf place and fix scratches.
Mhm.
I'm lying to people, telling them I had a family emergency, and I don't like to lie.
Mhm.
And that's bad karma. You know what I'm saying? When
Yeah,
you say something like that,
yeah,
and just certain people had to tell that. And it's like I feel like I'm not entitled to a fucking vacation after
yeah.
19 years. I mean, and that's not healthy. You know what I'm saying?
Uh,
And then so the weekend goes into Sunday, and I'm thinking about the week's work. And Sunday night, it's like, dude, if I don't sleep Sunday night
mhm.
because my mind is fucking going. It's already starting to go, and it's like Groundhog Day. You know that movie Groundhog
Oh
Day?
yeah,
And that gets fucking old. And
yeah.
that's where this comes from. And I said it's not the 7 days that I took off because my head was
I
still
will
in
tell
window
you
cleaning.
this though. I will tell you this though, Mark. If it was actually Groundhog's Day, I would definitely take advantage of it like he did. I
Yeah,
would
oh,
learn
yeah.
how to like cut shit with a chainsaw.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
I sculpt with a chainsaw. I would learn how
Yeah.
to play piano.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? I'd learn like a
yeah.
bunch of different languages. I mean, you might as well take
Yeah.
advantage of it while you can. You know?
Yeah,
You know?
no, there's no doubt. Yeah, you're right. You're right. But
But
you know,
in this
you know what it is?
situation, we're not that lucky. It's not that cool.
Yeah.
It's the
The thing-
same shit, different day. It's not the
Yeah.
same shit, same day.
Yeah. I mean, do you ever look at your bucket and go, I fucking hate you, man.
Dude.
I fucking hate my bucket.
I
You know?
had to look at mine today, man. Mine's all busted up and shit. Like one season is all I can get one of those. I use rectangular buckets in the summertime
Yeah.
with the lid, and they just fucking snap up
Yeah.
all the time. They're just fucking
Yeah.
broke. I gotta buy another Unger bucket and an Unger lid. I need something. I like the buckets, but I feel like I wish they were made from a more forgiving material.
Yeah.
Because they crack
'Cause they
so
crack.
easily. Yeah.
Well, yeah, and especially in the winter, I'll bet they crack real easy in the cold.
Yeah, it would be really nice to have a all-season bucket that with a
Yeah.
lid that works.
Yeah.
A
That you don't have to
built-in-
buy every
a
season.
built-in
Yeah.
fucking hanger for your washer, not one you got to drape hooks over, just like a built-in tool rest. I mean,
Yeah.
can you not injection mold that, you bum-ass motherfuckers? You know
Yep.
what I mean? Come on,
Yeah,
dude.
You know what I see
Of a
in window
good
cleaning, too?
plastic, a quality plastic. I would pay for like a rectangular specialized window cleaning bucket. I'd pay $50 for that. You know what I mean? If
Yeah.
I pay $50
Yeah.
for the ones I got now.
Yeah,
know
maybe
what I
we
mean?
should
And
get
they're
Richie to make a
garbage.
soft bucket.
Yeah, make me a
You know, you
big
can fold
soft
it up.
bucket, fold up
Yeah.
bucket. Yeah, I need a fold
Yeah.
up. Oh, doesn't old shit stain have a big ass? Did you see
Yeah,
that?
it's a trash can on.
I
a
tried
belt.
to get you to put that dog in a Chinese takeout bucket instead of that bucket, but you wouldn't fucking do it. Why didn't you
No, I
do
did
that?
it. I
No,
did.
you
I sent
didn't.
it to you. It's on the pot. It's
No,
on the text.
it's not. No, you did not.
Dude,
you did not
I
make
cut
that
the dog
one.
into pieces. Listen, I cut the dog into pieces and I put him on fried rice with chopsticks and everything. You didn't see that?
Yeah, but when he was holding that bucket
Oh,
up with the dog in it,
yeah,
you should have
yeah.
put a Chinese takeout bucket,
Yeah.
the little white
Okay.
bucket, over
Okay,
top of it.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
perfect, dude. What the fuck?
Okay.
I didn't
you
tell
wanted
you
me
to chop
turn
the dog's
dog
picture
into-
of it.
I thought, I thought you wanted it was called.
I mean, that was funny.
yeah. No, that's right. I made sweet and sour pug.
Yeah, that's what it was, sweet and sour pug. That shit was so fucking funny, man.
Dude. Yeah. I mean, come on, man.
I've had a couple of questions privately. If you want T-shirts made for your business, or you want Squeegee Life shirts, Jennifer and I will make sure that gets done. We just, all you gotta do is hit us up. And we've already sold shirts. Cameron Kidd was the first one to buy a shirt. He should have his tomorrow.
Awesome.
Jennifer's very first sale and T-shirt creation.
That's awesome, man.
Cameron Kidd bought, which is great, from Bountiful, Utah. So thank you. And if anyone here's a patron of the Squeegee Life podcast, send me your information privately, your shirt size and your address. If you are a patron subscriber, if you're a supporter of the podcast, if you go to www.patreon.com/Squeegee Life and you donate to the podcast, there are going to be perks now. So that's pretty cool. I got something in the works for patrons, and it's going to be super fucking cool, and I hope everyone likes it. If not, that's also cool. I don't care, whatever, but it's just something I want to do, something fun, something just for certain people, and I think it's going to be sweet. So, what's the first rule of Fight Club, Mark?
I don't know.
You don't talk about Fight Club, you fucking asshole. You're supposed to know that.
Yeah, you don't talk about Fight Club.
I just
got into a zone for a minute. I'm sorry.
Have you never watched Fight Club?
I think I've seen it with Brad Pitt.
Yeah, you've got to watch that movie.
I get
again.
such a hard on when I see him. I can't pay attention to the movie.
Oh, well, that makes sense to me.
Yeah. I mean, what can I say?
So I'm like fucking thinking about starting, I'm not thinking about, I'm definitely going to, I'm going to really hammer storefronts this, and I'm going to do it in the off season when it's cold as shit and the windows are super dirty and all the other window cleaners are pussies. I'm gonna go
Let me ask
out-
you a question.
What?
T. Do you have Advanced Auto Parts there in Ohio?
Yes.
I'm sure you do, right?
Mhm.
It used to be Discount, now it's Advanced.
Mm-hmm.
So in Tennessee, I had to go into town. I needed some coolant, and I needed a radiator cap. So it was funny because I took the radiator cap off my side by side and brought it up there. And I go, I know you're not going to have this, but if you got something close, this one it's not sealing well. And the guy grabs it out of my hand. He takes a few measurements. He's playing around the computer, and he goes, it's the same size as like a Mitsubishi Galant. He goes, this will work for you. And I'm like, man, that is pretty awesome, because in Florida, the guys that work at Advanced Auto Parts, they won't take more than 10 seconds of their time to look something up if it's not for exactly the application that they have in their computer. So I thanked them for that. And then I looked at them. And, of course, again, because I'm looking at Windows, so I say, I got another question for you that you've probably never been asked, and you're probably going to be taken aback, but I'm going to ask it anyway. I notice your Windows are really, really clean. And he says, yeah, we got a guy that comes by like twice a month and cleans the windows. He does the inside like one time. I go, well, he's like, why? I go, well, I own a window cleaning company back in Florida, so I noticed it. He said, oh, that's cool. And I said, you don't mind me asking, do you know what he pays? What you paid a guy? And he says, I saw a bill once. He said, I think it's like $75. He goes, I don't know if that's by the cleaning or by the month, but he comes twice. I'm like, that's cool, And I'm like, dude, the Advanced Auto Parts stores here, and we got them on every corner, are filthy, absolutely filthy. And I go to this podunk town with 1,500 people, and they're cleaning windows in the auto parts store. It's amazing. Do they clean up there by you?
Yeah. I did AutoZone. I know I've never done an Advanced, but I've done a bunch of AutoZones.
We have AutoZone, and they're dirty.
Yeah. They do them like only when special people are coming and shit. You know what I mean? That's the only time.
Yeah, right before the visit. Yeah.
So I charge them a shitload of money. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm trying to get my pipe going here.
Yeah. You guys got those Amazon vans running all over Ohio now? Dude.
You usually see two of them at a time.
Yeah. Dude, they must have a distribution somewhere by me, because I saw about 60 of them coming out of one area at one time. That down here, they're starting them at $16.50 an hour. They got to do about 40 stops a day, which is a lot, Like my mailman, the mailman, he's like, yeah, we just lost a shit ton of money because Amazon's pulling out. They're giving us just the minimum to keep the end of the year for the contract, but then it all goes away, and or 95% of it will go away. And he goes, they give them like 40 stops a day. And I'm like, well, how many stops do you have? And he's like, well, I have 50. He goes, they have to do 40. I go, but here's the thing. Your 50 stops is the same stops every day.
Right.
You ride up these 10 blocks and 20 blocks, and that's it. This guy's got to go, I'm sure they're all automated with directions and GPS. But he was telling me they know when the package is moved out of the van. They know when it's dropped off. They know where you are at every minute of the day. So there's no slacking off. And I would assume at, $16.50 an hour, when you walk in there, you better be pulling the line, or they'll just replace you with someone who's willing to do it for $16.50.
Right.
But if you think about it, think about this, because this is the way I think. $16.50 an hour with a driver's license to drive a van and a clean driving record is not so bad. Guess what? I would have done that when I was 17, 18 years old.
Fuck yeah.
Point being, can you afford, because I know I can't, to take a kid off the street that doesn't know how to clean windows and pay him $16.50 an hour, plus probably benefits too after a year?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
No.
Now you're going to interview someone. They go, I go drive for Amazon for $16.50. You're only paying $10.
Right. Right. Yeah. Well, that's the way of our trade. So.
Yeah. Well, in bashing window cleaning, the thing that sucks about it is, if you do it for 20 years, you'd think you'd be established enough to where you don't have to do it very much. And some guys probably do. But get to that 20-year point, and you know what I'm talking about. Your fucking body starts to wear out. No matter if you're doing residential or climbing ladders or water-fed pole or doing commercial work or high-rise work, which is a little more extreme, So by the time you get to where you're somewhat established or might not have to do it as much, you're fucking wore the fuck out, And it's like, I just wish you could make enough money and be responsible enough to do it for 20 years and then walk away and not worry about it.
Right. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, Kevin. Kevin said that most of the bobs, where he lives, are like sitting where it's warm. And that's when the storefronts are the most plentiful. I agree.
Well, a selling point would definitely be offering year-round service. Say,
Yeah.
hey, you know, you're
I'm
not
out
gonna fire
here.
me after
I'm out here.
Yeah. And I'll be here through next winter, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But are you guys? Do you guys have like? I know they have the Farmer's Almanac, but gonna let you know how bad your winter's gonna be? You know, is it predictions? You don't know.
There's supposed to be a bad winter.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Around here in the middle of winter, storefronts are filthy. See, storefronts are year-round for me. That's the good thing about Florida. But so you're able.
Well, storefronts are all year round here too.
Yeah.
It's just dudes don't want to go out and do it.
Yeah.
That's why I'm hoping that whatever. I hope you do get a chance to get up here in the wintertime.
Yeah.
Just so you can kind of get a feel for,
I know. Yeah.
just so you can kind of get a feel for it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not saying you've never experienced cold, but
Well, I haven't for long periods of time, but I've never worked in it, and I think as much as I wouldn't want to, I would do it just to experience it. You know.
well, for what you're coming here to do, it'd be a very good experience, I think.
Sure. Absolutely.
For you.
Absolutely.
Just for you.
You think Jen would get upset if we built a giant snow penis in the front lawn?
Who, Jennifer?
Yeah.
No, man. Jennifer likes giant snow penises too, dude.
All right. Oh,
Yeah,
that's
she's cool. Jennifer's cool. She's cool.
All the neighborhood kids can
Yeah.
run around it. They can run around
Yeah,
it.
dude.
Duck, goose.
Why not, man?
Dude, you want to hear something funny? I told you my snow penis story, but I was talking to my brother about it today because he's in Boston now,
Mm-hmm.
and I said, hey, dude, if you get a lot of snow, you got to build a snow penis and send me some pictures. He's like, absolutely, and so
Absolutely.
what reminded me is after we built the snow penis, which was over 6 foot tall, we took spray bottles and we misted it with water to ice it over, so it was real. So my father-in-law, who's military, doesn't have much sense of humor. When he did manage to tell me that was the last thing standing after the after the winter, started to warm up. But we did move it to the end of the road, as I mentioned. But so I asked him. So I have to. I'm wondering, as it melted, it just become a smaller penis? Did it maintain its shape, or did it?
Some real scientific fucking questions. You know what I mean? Real scientific fucking. Yeah.
These are the thoughts that kept me out of the really good
these
school.
are the things that makes me go,
Yeah.
I'm wondering.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Listen, we're this is just a simple show here, guys. We're not, if you're looking for answers, you're not going to find any here, man. We'll give you some advice, maybe some insight. You might find some of what we're saying helpful, and then again, some of it you may not. But you know what you're going to get here, folks. This is the Fart and Dick Jokes show.
Yes.
And
some window cleaning.
We'll do some. Yeah.
I'm looking at Chris Johnson saying, at this point, now starting out, storefronts are all I got. Well, Chris, there's nothing wrong with having nothing but storefronts, buddy. They're easy to go build up. You don't need to advertise for them. You see dirty windows, you walk in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Go make that money, man.
I figured you not being on almost over a week, well, like a week and a half, you'd have much more to say. But it's back to the same
shut
old,
the fuck up the whole time.
Same old Mark don't say nothing.
I haven't
show.
Shut up yet. You want me to keep going? I can. I got plenty more.
Kick that fucking mule.
Kick that mule, Lee. What does he say? Something Magoo. That makes me laugh every time. He'll say, I love when he does his commercials, dude. We got to get some sponsors. Yes. The way he describes that shit that cleans your nuts and everything. And your tailpipe.
Yeah, your tailpipe, cocksucker.
Yeah.
Wash that funk off your monkey, cocksucker.
Yeah. You want this girl on your muffler pipe, you got to be tip-top Magoo. Love the guy. I will say, as I mentioned, if you get a chance to see him live, I will.
You've got to go do it. He is fucking great, dude.
He comes to the Palm Beach Improv, which is not far from me.
Yeah,
and I'll go. He's mentioned it before, and I went to improv once or twice, so I'm on their email list. So if a good comic comes in, they always send me an email, and I would definitely
Has
go see.
Mrs. Tanner heard any of the Joey Diaz podcast?
She likes Joey Diaz because I was listening to it in the truck. I streamed it into my truck.
Okay.
You know, because she's like, you listen to the same music over and over, and I go, okay, here you go. And I put it on, and at first she was like, oh, talk radio, and then she started listening to it, and she starts laughing. She's like, this guy's good. I go, it's Joey Diaz. So she looked him up, then she knew who he was.
Yeah.
You know, as I said before, you know, most of his, a good many of his podcasts are with comedians. I just found some comedians aren't a great interview.
Yeah.
So I listen to him. I love to listen to him and Lee, just him and Lee.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how I search him out, because there's like 40 episodes that's just him and Lee, and I like to hear about his life and his experiences and stuff like that.
Right.
I actually listened to Joe Rogan today for a couple hours, but I just like Joey Diaz better than Joe Rogan podcast.
Yeah.
I'm sure some people might not agree with that.
No, I mean, I love them both equally.
Yeah.
So
I love them both together.
I like Joe.
Together.
Yeah, I like Joey for who Joey is. I like Joe for who Joe is, and when they're together, it's even better.
Yeah.
That fucking one where he fucking goes off on Alex Jones. Did I show you that video?
Yeah.
Where he goes off on
It's-
Alex Jones's radio show, dude. That is so fucking good, dude.
Yeah. Well, my son Scott shared a video to me that, well, it was a video, but when I listen to the podcast, the app I have, it's just audio, you know.
Right.
And it was Joey Diaz, Joe Rogan, and someone else, and they were talking about Joey Diaz talking how he shit himself and how he farts.
Yeah.
And he could clear the fucking bus. You
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
He goes, I thought this guy was passed out on a bus, and he was probably, you know, on drugs. And he goes, and I leaned over and farted next to him, and he goes, I sat back and watched, and he just put his head up and opened his eyes. Fucking laugh for an hour when he.
Yo, the one where he tells that fucking story about shitting behind his house and the fucking his neighbor thought it was a bear.
Yeah, thought there was something wrong with it. She has a little poodle dog.
He is fucking so fucking funny, man.
Yeah.
So funny, dude. Yeah. That's how I see that. I'm sure that you're probably listening to that shit while you're cleaning windows, right?
Oh yeah.
Sometimes it's hard not to. It's hard to hold. It's hard to hold it up when he's fucking going at it. It's hard to hold it in when you know what I mean. It's,
oh, dude, I'm climbing in the bushes at a Whole Foods laughing like a little schoolgirl.
Yeah.
I have to stop what I'm doing because I'm laughing.
That's fucking great. Have you? Yeah, Bill Jordan. You're right. Have you ever seen any of his Joey Karate skits?
Yes, I saw a video called "The Best of Joey Karate."
Okay.
My son sent me that.
So
too.
you seen him? You seen him with his gi on and his gut hanging out?
Yeah.
You ever hear this story? He tells this story about this chick was on stage doing a comedy show, and the guys in the back talked Joey into fucking getting butt naked. And every time she would get to the punchline or one of her jokes, they'd open the curtain, and Joey would smack his flop his dick up and down. And they'd fucking erupt laughing, and the curtains would close, and then she'd go back to telling her jokes. And as soon as she got to the punchline, they'd open the curtain, and Joey would do this thing with his fucking dick.
She thought she was doing
good.
She
thought she was killing, but it was actually Joey's dick flopping around. That fucking dude, so funny, man. So funny.
Yeah.
So does anyone have any questions pertaining to window cleaning, with the window cleaning business, tools, shit like that? I can tell you right now, I feel like... and maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like everybody's talking about the Unger 0 degree handle a whole bunch all of a sudden. I'm starting to see it everywhere, but man, I really don't ever remember seeing anybody talk about it in any videos or anywhere on social media until I started fucking putting videos with the Unger 0 degree up and started showing people what I do with it. It seems to have gotten pretty popular. I mean, maybe I'm wrong. I mean, I could be wrong, but I feel like I may have started something. I don't know. I think it's super quick. I don't climb in boots no more.
I put a brand new 18-inch brass channel in it, threw it in my bucket for a Monday morning, and I got about 2 windows in, trying to do what you do, and I took it off and put it back in the bucket and went back to the way I do it. I just can't get it. It's just, you know, but you know what? I respect the technique.
I don't do a lot of detailing. I don't have to do a lot of detailing because of it. If I keep my water off the frames, and they're not all beat up like on interiors over booths and shit, I don't have to climb in the booth for nothing. I'm not getting my feet print on the booth. I'm not tearing fucking booth liners. I'm not getting shit all over the tables. Just on the ledge in the window. I wipe the ledge down, throw a towel up there, scoot down. That's just, I wish that you appreciated what I was doing a little bit more, Mark, but it's okay. I understand. You think I'm a fucking nerd.
Props. More
you think I'm a nerd, and that's cool,
dude.
bro.
I'll tell you what. No, I'll tell you what. Cool. And I put a post up about it, and I don't like to post on Facebook too much anymore. But I used my Alpha Scrubber for the first time on I have a Infinity car dealership that I do every other month, and there's a lot of water-fed pole work there, and it's black glass. So anybody knows anything about black glass. That's the glass that's hardest to water fed because every spot shows up. Yeah. And especially a car dealership that's bi-monthly. All right. And I was like, I'm putting this scrubber out to work. Now, other than bugs, a lot of bugs and spider webs getting hung up that I had to clean out, which is normal. I actually just turned the pad over. You know what I'm saying? Used the other side of it. Then when I finished for the day, I threw it in the bucket of soap and water. The next day, most all of them was cleaned out. But point being, I didn't have one window. I had to go redo, wipe, traditionally clean. There was no rundown, and the glass sparkled. So I think
it does a really good job.
Yeah, that thing's badass.
Yeah, Sean from Tucker RHG Products. That Alpha Scrubber is dude. I'll be honest with you. I'm going to tell you right now. I've got the prototype. Yeah. And it's like, other than the Velcro started to pull off, and I just put a staple through it. Yep. And stapled it back on there. Yep. It works great. Out of the box, it was fine. I still use the same one. Yeah. It's awesome. Yes, we do print hoodies and T-shirts. Yes. It's not a screen printing. It's a HVT or HTV or whatever the fuck it is, but it's. I mean, Mark's wearing one of the shirts now. This shirt right here is like 3 years old. In my videos, my white and red Clearview shirts and hoodies, those are all like 5 years old. They look. I mean, other than the fabric doesn't look like it used to be. It's the print itself is still awesome, and anyone that's got one of our shirts knows that they're of a good quality. You're gonna have them for a while. If you want special shirts, I mean, you like, I gotta have the super soft, stretchy T-shirts with the loose neck. And no tag. If you need that, then buy your shirts and send them to me. I'll print them for you and send them back to you at a handsome fee. So Jennifer makes a bunch of money. I'm gonna charge you guys $1,000 a shirt. Nah, just hit us up. We'll do you some Squeegee Life branded fucking Tom the Window Cleaner shirts for you if you want. You just hit us up. We'll take care of you guys. You'll find me on Facebook, TJ Gilbert, or look for the Squeegee Life podcast page. Can we do bleach-proof shirts? If you're talking about the NASCAR jerseys, Pro Wash Missouri, no, I don't do NASCAR jerseys. But we could get a bleach-proof shirt and print on it, yes.
I'll tell you what, for some strange reason, I once did, well, I didn't do it for a strange reason, but how do I say this? I bought camo shirts. Real Tree, Sky's the Limit shirts, and those are pretty bleach proof. Yeah. For some reason, there's something about the material that they put the camo on. Yeah. That the bleach doesn't wipe them out.
Yeah. There's I mean, yes. But if you're looking for those shirts that all these pressure washing dudes wear with the fucking they look like soccer jerseys and shit, no, we don't do that. Unfortunately,
some of them are loud. Those shirts are loud.
That's a little too much for me. It's a little too much. I got one design, new Squeegee Life design. We're gonna do something with windowcleaner.com. We're gonna do something with them. I think maybe partner up on a shirt like we did with Window Cleaning History. It may appeal to some. It may not appeal to others. I think it's kick ass. So, whatever's whatever. I hope you like it. If not, That's cool too. But I got we got a couple of shirts coming out, a couple new shirts. We're gonna do some hoodies and shit. There's the Stranger Things shirt, the support your local window cleaner shirt. We changed the back. It used to say Free Richie B, but we changed the shirt because the shirt started out for one reason, but everyone liked the logo, the Stranger Things logo, so we just made a different front and still the same font, and then we just put something different on the back. Just hit me up, Lewis. I got you, player. You know that. I'll do whatever I can for you. And if, like I said, if you just want us to print the shirts for you, you want to ship us shirts. Like, let's say, for instance, if you're Jacob Dell and you're fucking 6 foot tall and fucking weigh 900 pounds, you're the gigantic ass motherfucker. Jacob's a big fucking guy, tall and round, and and from what I understand, he's actually lost a bunch of weight.
Well, good for him.
He was still a big fucking guy. But if you have like a special shirt, like a special size or special cut, like I want, just hit me up privately, man. You can ship us your shirts, and we'll fucking, we'll charge you for the print and ship them back to you, man. No big deal. Yeah, we'll hook you up. We'll get you a good price, especially if it's in bulk. We'll get you a good price. We'll take care of you the best we can. All we really need is your logo. Send us your PDF of your logo. And Jennifer will cut that shit. We'll throw it on a shirt. Maybe add a little pizzazz of our own to it to make it a Squeegee Life branded shirt. Because that's kind of like what my intentions were from the very beginning, even back when we were doing Outlaw. Henry. That's what I'm talking about right now. When I started out with the Outlaw Window Cleaner thing, that's kind of what I was wanting to do from the very beginning, is like take your company shirt and, throw my fucking take on it, and then you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that was the intention at the very beginning. The whole buying the t-shirt printing equipment just kind of fell into our laps due to unfortunate circumstances, you know what I mean? So, we wanted to keep going. I actually owe somebody. I owe a guy a shirt from the Into the Flow group. He won the raffle. I owe that dude a shirt. I need to find that dude, but I owe him a hoodie. But So
let me ask you, how long is it? Pretty quick to print a shirt once it's all set up, the logo. It's pretty fast.
Yeah, it's decent.
So you could spit them out pretty quick.
Yes.
Cool.
Yep. It normally takes, minus the weeding, the weeding is one thing. That's something that she'll get better with in time. And, if we get a large order, I'm just going to help her do them, you know what I mean? Until she gets, because, two of us will probably equal one of Mike, the guy that used to do them for me. Mike is the one that printed the shirt that you're wearing right now. Mike is, way more proficient. Mike and his wife are way more proficient than Jennifer were, but she's getting there. So she knows the process. Yeah, it just takes her. It just takes her a little bit longer to weed the product out than it did Mike. But with the both of us and the girls, it will be no issues whatsoever.
Plus, we get your creativity, and you've always been really good with designing the shirts. So, and I think, in my opinion, not for nothing, dude, I think every shirt you sell should have the Squeegee Life on the sleeve. Every one.
Yeah, that's my intention, is to, like, even if I make guys' company shirts, I'm gonna throw they'll get the Squeegee Life logo on the sleeve. You know what I mean? And it'll be their choice of logo. They can have the cross squeegees. They can have the Stranger Things logo, the skate, the window cleaning history, fucking Thrasher magazine on there, whatever you want. It's just gonna say Squeegee Life. You pick out your favorite logo, and we'll slap it on the sleeve free of charge. It'll just be with the shirt. It'll just be like Under Armour, but for window cleaners, and it'll be Squeegee Life. You know what I'm saying? But again, and if you don't want it, and you just like, dude, I'd rather not have that shit on my shirt, but can you make these? I'll do that too. Whatever you want. Yeah, man. If like I said, if you want to do, like, say you make, man, I gotta wear Under Armour shirts, dog. You know what I mean? I'm high dollar. You know what I mean? I gotta wear Nike shirts. I will
send them up.
Yeah, send them to us. Buy the shirts, send them to us. We'll send them to you, and it'll be all gravy, baby. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I once went and bought Carhartt shirts. You know which one?
Carhartt.
They're great quality, and I figured they'd just last longer, and they did last longer than the ones that I get, the problem is that though they don't tear and they fit really well, okay, they just get so nasty, dirty.
Right.
At that point, you're throwing them away because they're embarrassing versus having holes in them, you know, and it just wasn't worth the money to buy the Carhartt shirts unless you got a hookup, you know, which eventually you might find a distributor that you can get some really good deals buying in bulk. So
I've already, Mike and his wife kind of, gave us the keys to the car. They're just like, here, man, just toss us the keys and gave us a roadmap. Like, stop here, stop here, stop here, and this is how you do it. They weren't able to show us the technical side of it, so Jennifer had to figure all that out herself, but she's figured it out, and she's doing pretty good. So
awesome.
I mean, we've got Stranger Things, support your local window cleaner shirts printed and ready to go. If we got your size, we could ship it tonight. You know what I mean, or tomorrow. So
I told you, I think, and I could be wrong. Every time I wear that Squeegee Life shirt with the Stranger Things logo, I think people just glance at it real quick and think it says Stranger Things because I get a lot of compliments on it.
Right.
A lot of compliments.
Right. I do too. Every time I wear one, like at the restaurants, the ladies that work at the managers at the restaurants that I work at are always hounding me for, I want a sweatshirt with that on there out, because every time they see me wear that shirt, which isn't very often, but every once in a while I'll wear a Squeegee Life shirt to work, you know what I mean? And people will see it and they'll like them, you know what I mean? They're like, oh man, that's cool. Squeegee Life.
Yeah.
I get it. That's cool.
I was standing in line at the gas station, and some young girl, she was probably 16 years old. She looked at me. She looked at the shirt, and she's like, "Oh my God, did you like the movie? I love that movie. Where do I get that?" And I'm like, looking at it, I'm like, "You probably didn't read it, But she just glanced at it and thought it was Stranger Things. But I do get a lot of compliments.
It's a cool shirt. I like it. It's one of my finer ideas I had. Or can I get some of those orange wraps from your order, please?
What wraps? What is he talking about?
What?
I don't know.
Mark, can I get some of those orange wraps from you for order, please?
I don't know what he means.
Orange rags?
Oh, the rags. Rags. Well, you know what? I'm going to tell you this.
I think someone else is going to be selling towels like that.
Yes. You will have the ability to get
as many of those towels as you want.
As many as you want. And there's that. But you will have the opportunity, but not from me.
Yeah.
But I've done some due diligence, and they're coming out. Yes. That's what I'll tell you. They are badass, though.
They've been, dude. I love them, man.
Yeah.
I love mine. I love mine. I absolutely love those towels.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because after I scrub on a fingerprint in a McDonald's with my ammonia, so much ammonia that it'll make you want to fall over. People walk into
keeps you woke up.
People walk into like fucking breezeways where I'm working, and they're like, "Shoo!"
Yeah. Woo!
If that shit don't peel a fingerprint off, I just rub that cloth over it, and it polishes it right off. It doesn't move it around; it just grabs it.
No,
they're
it does.
Fucking awesome, man. They're awesome towels.
Jason, I would be safe to say within the next 30 to 45 days you should be able to order them.
Yeah, you'll be good to go, man. Everyone be patient. All the cool shit you're seeing, even more cool shit is coming. So it's all good, dude. You know how that goes. So
yep. Yeah.
Let's see here. Wieners. Wieners, yeah. So, I do not know what else to talk about. I'm kind of like...
You know that big red wax dick that I had?
Yeah.
That I made out of the Baby Bell cheese wrappers?
Yeah.
Right, so, because I'm a fucking idiot, one night we had pasta with meat sauce, so I grabbed that wiener and dunked the head of it into the meat sauce that was in a little bowl on the table, and I'm letting Tucker, the dog, lick the head, and I'm laughing. The kids are giggling, right? We think it's funny, right?
Yeah, because you sent me a video. Remember?
Yes. That's why I did it for you.
Yeah.
So here's the fucked up part. You didn't know. We finished dinner. I go out in the shop, and I'm working on something, and Kate comes back all panicked, and she's like, "You're not going to believe this." And I go, "What?" And she holds her hand, and she's got the nuts and about half of the shaft. And I go, what the fuck happened there? And she goes, I think Tucker ate it. And I'm like, oh, that's not
fucking,
good 'cause it's whack.
Yeah, fucking Tucker ate a dick.
He ate that. Well, here's the thing.
Dick.
So any of you are dog owners, right? And if you have, and we wanted him to throw it up because you don't know if that clogs him up, then it's going to be expensive.
Right.
So most of the time you can give a dog, like a dog that's 50, 60 pounds, you give them like 2 ounces of hydrogen peroxide and they'll instantly throw up. Like Brady, my hound dog, he ate a giant bag of dark chocolate chips when he was real little. Okay. And we put an ounce of peroxide down his throat and he threw up within 3 minutes. Well, let me tell you something. Tucker has a stomach of iron because it took about a half hour and like 5 ounces of peroxide. I told my buddy that's a vet, and he's like, give him more. It's not going to hurt him. He's going to throw it up. Well, when he finally threw up, he only had about half of the helmet and a little piece. He didn't eat it all. So, no. So, one of two things. I got to go.
No, what I think is funny is you say helmet. You even say helmet now, just like fucking. You watch too much Joey, bro.
Yeah.
My helmet skin. I put my helmet skin.
So.
I put Ajax under my helmet.
Yeah.
Sealed that cocksucker up.
Yeah. So that was an experience, but thankfully, so then the next day we found it in the yard. We found where he threw up. We watched him, and he kind of disappeared to throw up, and then he threw up again, which we saw, and then the rest probably, obviously passed through him. But so that's kind of fucked up. Sometimes I do stupid shit like that.
Dude.
Like,
fuck, man. Yeah. I remember when I was a kid, one of my models, my dog ate my models. One of my models, the parts, the racks.
Yeah.
Before you take them all apart, he ate all the parts off my fucking...
Yeah, the tree.
Off the tree. Yeah. And for like the next 2 or 3 days afterwards, there was fucking dog turds laying around with like Mustang seats hanging out of it and fucking half an engine block and tires.
Dude, I had a dog that used to go to the Christmas tree, and she would take the glass bulbs, off and fucking bite them till they broke. She never cut her mouth. And then one time I come home, the tree is knocked over and half the ornaments are fucking tore up. The next day she's walking around with a piece of tinsel hanging out of her ass. I'm like, I ain't touching it. She looked like those, you know how the kids have those streamers on the ends of the bike handle? Yeah, she looked like a party paper. This shit is funny. Like, that can't feel good.
Right? Yeah, I do. I seen somewhere else up here. I didn't answer that question, but I will tell you. I do have the 2.0 handle. My 2.0 handle is in the video that I just put up earlier or last week or whatever. I use it on some high storefront windows.
Have they tightened their shit up? It's good.
It's still a lightweight plastic hunk of shit, but it works good. Yeah, it works all right. Yeah, once you get used to it. They're just, they are what they are. They're nice. I don't think they perform well with their channel in it, but that's just my personal opinion. Other guys can get it to work, and that's cool. I prefer I use an Unger their S channels. Their S plus is the one that kind of curve down at the bottom to kind of, and I use those in my 0 degrees as well. But I just prefer to.
Is that a wide body channel or it's a brass?
It's just like it's a stainless channel. Speaking of stainless, you said that you pulled one of your reach it pulls out of the storage shed with the stainless fittings and it was covered in rust. Is that true?
Yeah, as God is my word, I had. My high-rise guys were doing a building, so I brought one of my storefront guys in to do a country club. So my high-rise guy has a Reach It Pro and a system in the truck, and I have my portable. So I brought my tank system, and then I brought my second hydro cart, and so I grabbed that Reach It Mini, which I bought was hardly ever used from the guy that just got out of using that particular brand, and I went to open the clamps, and the screws, they're the ones with the springs, so they might be older clamps, but the pole is like brand new. It's never been used. I could not adjust any of the clamps because the whole entire thing would spin. I literally WD-40 them and 40'd them and rocked them back and forth with a pair of pliers till they would break free.
Well, I've got
So,
a picture of your clamps up here on so everyone can see those
Yeah,
stainless steel fittings on there.
that ain't no bullshit. That ain't no doctored picture. That is, yep, that is from sitting in my. I have a 40-foot shipping container next to my shop that I keep all my window cleaning equipment in, and I have literally shelves on one side to the ceiling and racks on the other.
Yeah, that's that fucking Chinese stainless steel, man. That's that high dollar shit, bro.
Yeah. That's bad.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna take advantage of the fact that I have 2 sets of the
Phillips clamps
Phillips clamps, and I'm gonna put it on that pole.
makes sense to me.
Yeah. I'm gonna put Phillips clamps on there. I'm sure they're tip top magoo.
Tip top magoo. Tip top magoo, bro. Tip top magoo, son.
I pooped my pants once.
So-
My sphincter didn't work. I don't know.
Yeah, that's
I'm at it. So what's better about the Unger? I don't know. It goes on with I just put I don't even have duct tape on mine. With the new 2.0 handle, I just leave the teeth on it. It goes right on there. Done. That's how I do it.
You don't find that those teeth that bite into the rubber distort the rubber? And what about, does it have end clips in it?
Nope.
I just never got that.
That doesn't
I used to take
doesn't
that
bother
piece
me.
off.
Doesn't move. Nothing.
Yeah.
Yep.
I used to take, when I had squeegees like that, handles like that, I'd take that piece off, put it on the bench grinder,
You just
flatten the teeth back out.
Yeah, you just gotta find the sweet spot. You're the type of dude that bear jaws everything. You put the bear jaws on everything. You're just that guy. Like you're the guy that has to zip tie his fucking washer sleeve to his T-bar just because it just moves too much.
Yeah, well, I got a new washer sleeve that's next level badass, something like no one out there other than you probably have seen. No zip ties needed for this baby. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah, but you know what? When you put that zip tie on there, it makes a difference.
Yeah, it does. It does. The 2.0 0 degree compared to the Unger. The Unger is just higher quality plastic. I can't use the Unger or the Mormon 0 degree the way I do the Unger 0 degree. I just think the Unger is just a better, a well-made tool. It's just a properly made tool. If Unger wanted to, they could probably, I mean, I'm sure that Mormons most likely got a fucking patent on that handle or whatever, but if Unger was to come out with a handle, say, with like a 25 degree angle that was made just like the 0 degree, but just change the angle of the handle, it would operate just the same. You know what I mean? But
yeah, Unger is good stuff, man. Their stuff is top quality.
it
I
just
don't.
lasts
The only
longer.
thing I don't like, I bought a 4-inch Unger scraper. Okay, except I bought a 4 and a 6, and I love the 6. What I don't love about it is, you know that the plastic slide that the blade sits on, the Unger is so thin. Okay, you know how like on the Triumph it has that piece that sticks out and you just tap it on the tailgate and it opens?
Yes.
The Unger one is so thin, that plastic piece,
It snaps.
it snaps or it just bends and doesn't push the scraper out. Other than that,
I just buy
love it.
I just buy Triumph replacement
me
slides
too.
and stick them in there. So
will they fit in there? Something's thinner about it, but yeah, I have replacement slides. I just haven't messed with it. You know.
yeah.
Oh. You know, look, the Mormon stuff just never appealed to me. It always felt chintzy. I spent some money on it, and they put a hit out on me the last time I spoke about it, so I'll say, hey, to each his own.
Yeah,
you know?
to each his own. Oh, yeah, you did get the hit put out on you.
Yeah.
I don't, I use them in my videos, so it's not like I don't like them. They're decent. I mean, they're decent. It's a decent tool. It's not nothing to write home to mom about, but
No, you know
it
what
serves
it
its
is, though, T?
purpose. I feel like someone else could do it better. That's just my opinion. And I like the Unger 0 degree better. I use the flick pad. If I could use the flick pad on my 0 degree the way I do on at 25 degrees, I would definitely use that, but I just can't. So I
You
just
know what?
use the accelerator handle and the flick pad, and it just makes shit quicker for upper windows. But that's all it's good for, in my opinion, is pull work. But that's just me. But keep going.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Mark.
Well, no, you know what it is, and you'll be able to relate to this because you've been cleaning windows for a long, long time now. Is and I don't I have to step back and think because when I was younger, I bought everything that came out because it looked cool or a different technique would make it work. And what happened with me over time is I was buying everything that came out, and it ended up in a bin somewhere after a week. And so after time, you just develop your technique that works with specific tools. You don't get excited when you see a multicolored fancy handle that swivels, does backflips, and all those other things. Just because when you buy it, you might use it. Look, I switched over from Unger or Pulex or typical brass stuff, which is all very similar, super system handles, to the Sorbo Cobras when I hired Mike 15 years ago or so, and I never looked back. So to me, and I'm sure you can agree to this, you see something come out, you just don't rush out and buy it right away because the technique you're using might not be for that tool. But new guys that are learning can learn with something such as the Mormon tools and make very proficient with it.
Right. Well,
that doesn't. Yeah.
I got mine from my first accelerator handle. I got for free from Seth Byers. Seth Byers sent it to me.
Yeah.
And just to try it out, and I got that, and I messed with it a little while, and then I threw it in the toolbox, and then I was like, you know what, I'm not gonna let this thing beat me. I'm gonna figure out how to use it, and I only like it at the 25-degree setting. That's the only way I'll use it. That's just me. I feel like if someone come out with a handle with a 25-degree angle on it, and a pad that flips over the top, blow that fucking thing right out of the water. That's just me. 25 degrees is where it's at. For anything like you're trying to do something above your head, like you want to wash it like you see Luke do in his videos, and I do, and Mike, you clear your edges and then fan the center out. At 25 degrees, it can't be beat. But outside of that, it just is poo. It's just garbage.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's like I said, it's a nice situational tool to get things done quickly because you're washing and squeegeeing without having to transition. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's what's nice about it.
Yeah, I mean, for certain jobs, you got a lot of tops. You can go bust out 20 tops real quick.
Fuck yeah, real quick. I got a high flyer too. I'm gonna mess around with it some. I need to get some hard rubber because I hear that's the best for it, or medium rubber, and try the high flyer out. I have one. Somebody sent me one of those, and it's still in the box that was sent to me. And
Richie Blue's a high flyer guy.
Yeah. I tried it, used it for like a little bit, and then I put it back in the box. Because I was at the time still messing with the Mormon accelerator handles. Like, I'm gonna do this one and figure this one out, and then I'll start messing with that high flyer here soon. I think I want to get a smaller one. I got an 18-inch. Maybe I'll cut that one down. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
But, it is what it is. Oh, you started with it. Yeah, I started with just regular old fixed-handled hand tools, brass squeegee. And I Sorbo handles and Sorbo channels on commercial work. So it's brass squeegees on resi shit and Sorbo channels and Sorbo handles on storefront work. The Sorbo handles were okay at the time until the Unger came out with their handle, the Ninja handle. That
Ninjas kick ass.
It smokes that Sorbo handle. The Sorbo handles, dude. I used to break those things constantly.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's just me. I used to break the head.
Yeah.
The head off the swivel all the time. We used to bust those things constantly.
Oh, I got boxes of head, boxes of the bottom. For the screws. For the spare parts. You don't feel like taking apart, you put it in a box. I might see you in a couple of years. Have fun.
Yeah.
Hang out.
No shit.
Yeah.
And then Unger came out with their Ninja handles, and I was like, man, these things are next level. They were super sweet. And then they changed them again with the lock. I know some people don't like the lock. I love the lock on them.
I mod the lock. I get rid of the lock.
See, I don't. I love the lock. Yeah.
I offended Mark Unger pretty bad at the convention when I talked about that. I could see his face.
Yeah.
I'm like, can you make it without that lock? I go, because it's not really that tight. It's kind of sloppy. He's like, well, the mold changed.
Not.
So once the mold changed.
No, it's not.
No, it's fucking junk.
It's not. Mark's just a fucking dude. I use the fuck out of my lock, and I've never had no issues with it. The only thing I've had issues with Unger lately is the fucking, what you want to call it, the scraper. I broke 5 scrapers this summer.
Oh yeah, those ones that lock in a position like this or like this.
I busted 5 of those.
I broke 2 of them and I stopped using them. I went back to Triumph.
Yeah, you know? I've gone back to Triumph. I used to like that. It's a nice scraper, but there's something wrong in their cast, their molding. The cast there's a void in there. When they do that shit, when they pour that aluminum, there's a void in that casting, and it's fucking cracking.
It's pot metal.
It's pot metal. It's busting all the time, yeah.
Well, the first thing that happens is, if you don't break it...
I don't know, Kevin. We may.
The first thing that happens is...
I can look into it.
Because it's pot metal aluminum, the powder coat starts to come off, and then it just looks like a piece of shit, you know. And I mean, I was not that it's very expensive, but I like, you know.
What kind of Triumph scraper do you use?
I have the black one with the it's red and black.
With the angle on it, the 45? No,
straight.
Oh, okay.
I buy the 45, but just never standing in the right position to use it. Yeah, I just like the red and black one. I was going to ask you if anybody's ever figured out why now they put a piece of rubber on the cap, like a squeegee blade on the top of the cap. You seen that?
The ones I bought don't have one.
The new red and black Triumph scrapers on the top of the cap, where you would push it down to lock it, has a strip of rubber on there like a squeegee blade.
Maybe that's to clean seals off.
Could be. Yeah, could be.
Which is not actually really not a bad idea.
Yeah. No, it's got a piece of rubber in the top.
You know what I mean? How guys use 6-inch.
Yep.
That could be what that's for.
Yeah.
I've used a regular. I don't know what kind of wagtail it was. I bought a wagtail a couple of years ago, and I tried it out a little bit, and then I gave it to somebody. I didn't care for it, and then somebody sent me a. Jordan Miner sent me a high flyer, and I've yet to mess with it more than a couple of times. I'll start messing with it more because I feel like I got the accelerator handle down with the flick pad. I've got that down, so yeah.
My story with the wagtail was I bought 2 of them because honestly, they have a bunch of different models, and this was several years ago, and I really wasn't in social media much, so I didn't know who to ask. But I saw a lot of guys playing around with them, so the one I bought seemed to work real well. The issue I had with it, the one I had an aluminum channel, and it had a sheet metal screw to hold the rubber and the handle on the channel, which after the first time I changed the rubber, because I immediately knew I didn't care for the rubber, and at that time I was using Ettore round rubber. Right? So I changed the rubber, and as soon as I tightened that little set screw, to hold the rubber, and I put end clips in it because I'm an end clip guy. Sorry, that aluminum channel just stripped out with the sheet metal screw they give you. So then I got a bigger sheet metal screw. Now I got a giant hole in there trying to hold the rubber. And wherever I bought it from, I don't remember. I sent them an email saying, "Hey, I like the tool. I started getting proficient with it, but I mean, I don't expect this thing." I sent them pictures. So they go, "No problem, we're going to send you another one." They sent me another one, but what they sent me was not the same thing I had, because what they sent me came with a roll of like 30 feet of clear plastic tubing. Okay, the flip pad was now held on with these little plastic clips, and I'm like, I don't even know what to do with this. Am I supposed to hook this to a water-fed system or something?
It's probably one of those wagtail waves or some shit like that.
So I ended up giving it away to someone on one of the other podcasts that wanted it. I was like, you know what? I got very frustrated. They probably cost more than what I originally bought, and I appreciate them standing behind it, but I kind of wanted what I originally had.
Yeah, there's so many different, like, Richie would be the one to tell you, but he's out, how Richie's really long-winded, and, you'll start talking out start out talking about fucking
Richie
wagtails
has,
and
if you
turn
ever seen
into
a
something
picture of
else.
Richie's bed, you ever seen a picture of
No.
Richie's bed? Richie's bed, you know how like kids have stuffed animals?
Mm-hmm.
He has wagtails all
Wagtails
over the
all
fucking
over.
place. He sleeps with them. Yeah.
That guy's a fucking big nerd.
Yeah.
Huge fucking nerd, that guy. Huge fucking nerd. So does anyone have any questions for the podcast here? We're about an hour and 20 minutes in.
Yeah, give me a technical. Let's
let's
find some questions that we're gonna have trouble answering.
Let's hear it, guys. Let's hear your awesome questions. I know you guys have awesome questions.
I pooed my pants once. My sphincter didn't work. I don't know.
Yeah.
I pooed my pants once.
Okay.
My sphincter didn't
Well-
work. I don't know.
Apparently someone
I
pooed their pants once and their sphincter
my
didn't
sphincter
work.
didn't work. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know. I can control mine. Tone, everything. Mine, hey, T.
Yeah.
Mine can actually trim a piece of shit.
Oh, yeah?
Yours?
Yeah.
Oh, so it works.
Yeah.
Yeah. I never heard of one failing that.
Just failing.
Shit just falls
Yeah,
out.
just shit falls out. My sphincter
Like,
didn't
you
work
know,
once. It just
we've talked about this before. A mouse or a rat. You know why there's rat shit or mouse shit everywhere? Because the mouse and the rat are the only animals that don't have a sphincter.
Really?
Yep. That's why rats, mice just shit wherever they are. It just comes out. It's like the Play-Doh thing. You put the Play-Doh in and it shoots it out. Yep.
That's weird.
Someone could be a rat.
Someone could be a rat. It could be what it is.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
If you're watching this, there's 18 of you, and you could at least give us a thumbs up or a thumbs
Right.
down. Let us know we're doing good or bad. Our whole day hinges on that. What's the
Yeah.
difference between low and high E glass, Mark?
Well, low E, I don't know what high E is. Low E has a coating on it, a reflective coating, and it makes it more UV resistant, and it's more energy efficient. And that's a coating you have to be very careful if it's on a surface that you're going to clean. My experience with low E coatings are they're very easy to damage, and they're very inconsistent. I have a restaurant I clean that put low E coated doors on it, and squeegeeing them is like squeegeeing a piece of sandpaper. You're almost better off with a rag and spray cleaner, but I don't. I just haven't got to that. But so yeah, low E is a highly reflective coating on glass. Mark, high-rise window. How often? I do the window. What? High-rise window.
How often do you clean? How often do
I have
they get their windows
multiple
cleaned?
buildings that are 4 times a year, so every 3 months, and all those buildings are in downtown, so they're within 5 miles of an airport. The environment in which the building sits in, not only the budget of the building, but is going to dictate how often it goes. So most of my jobs are twice a year, but I have a group of 5 different buildings that are 4 times a year. So if from a business standpoint, that's great because that's 20 cleanings a year between all 5 buildings, right? So if you take the 20 cleanings over 12 months, you're going from one building to the other to the other. So at this point, I don't even source out more buildings because my guys literally go from one building and walk or drive literally across the street to the next one, all in order. Boom, 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 boom. So, and again, that all depends on the budget of the building. A Class A building, which is going to be higher rent, they really take a lot of care of it. It's a newer building usually, is going to have a budget for 2, 3, or 4 times a year. A B-class building, which is going to be a county-type building, county-type library, you'll be lucky to get that once a year or so, So, yeah.
How do you mod the Unger handle, Mark? The squeegee is fine, the mop sucks.
Oh, the lock. I took it apart, and then I took a Dremel tool and cut the little nub off that turns it into a lock. There's a little tooth on the back. So you take it, put it in a vise, take a Dremel tool with a cutoff wheel. It just cuts that right off. And then I put a little epoxy on it to hold it as if it wasn't there. Slid it back in, epoxied it, and it's never missed a beat since.
There you go.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. There are many different types of low E. Yes, that's true. I'm only speaking of the ones that I see common here. I did glass restoration on the outside of a window that was low E coated on the inside. And like most jobs, when you're doing glass restoration, you want it, if you have the vantage point, to look from the inside as you're doing the work to make sure that it's coming out the way you got to see what the customer's going to see. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I walked into this guy's high-end home. This was a referral from another window cleaner, and I'm like, you know that window is not the same color everywhere. He goes, yeah, it's a low E coated window. Some areas it looked red, some areas it looked gray. I personally didn't care for the way it looked, but it worked for him. You know, it worked for him. But I can tell you, again, any of those windows that are low E coated, if you can touch that coating, you don't want to put anything on it other than soap and water, the minimal amount of anything on it, because it will damage.
Right.
You know, never anything aggressive or abrasive.
Well, I don't really like modding my shit.
Oh, I like to plug and play my shit, you know? I mean, the only reason I took apart that Unger handle and modded it was because that lock was always, when it was like, I think when it's unlocked, which I like to keep my stuff unlocked, it just rubbed my hand all the time. You know what I'm saying? And then you push it to lock it, right?
Yeah.
But again, it's, you know what it is, T? It's you get used to using it a certain way, and now it's different.
If you watch my videos, I show you in real time how to use it like a boss.
You know what? Sit there with a fucking smirk on, saying to yourself, "Motherfucker don't know what he's doing."
Are you kidding? If there's one thing I can do, it's use my tools.
No, you can't.
Very, very proficiently. You just fucking are old and fucking only want to do shit your way. Yes, yes.
Not in my way. Here's what it is.
I'm still waiting on my modded Cobra channel. And the link to the fucking burner for the goddamn smoker. God damn it.
I have a person. I forgot about that.
Just send me the fucking link. God damn it.
You're getting it slowly. It's a lesson. Right?
You're going to be ready 2 days before Thanksgiving. You're good to go. Are you ready? Yes. Well, then that's all that matters.
Listen.
What?
Let me explain this so that you understand.
Okay.
Dumbledore did not teach Harry how to kill Voldemort for 7 fucking books, okay?
All right. You got me there. That's fucking great, dude. I mean, I've only asked you like a dozen times. You were like, here, this one. I'm like, all right, cool. And then like 20 minutes later, you're like, no, don't buy that one. I know there's a different one I want you to buy. That was almost 3 months ago.
Okay. Take care of it right now.
I just need to know which one so I can get it. Because I need to get that taken care of soon.
Yeah, you need to get that smoker up and going.
Yes, before the holidays.
Did you see that brisket I made?
Oh, yeah, it looked really good. I just want that control. If I can get the heat control, if I can get the control over the heat the way that you have, I could start working on that.
Yeah.
Getting my meat to that level. I just need the control.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And that's what my cooking lacks right now is the control over the heat.
You don't
because I talked to you the last time I smoked something, like my fucking heat was all out of whack. You know what I mean? So I'm trying to get it under control and doing it the way you showed me. I think that's the way I'm going to do it. Any way to get concrete paint off of e-glass coating outside?
Ooh. That's a tough one, because guys talk about that product called Cement Off. I've personally never used it, but to my recollection, it's an acid-based product, so you're not going to want that. Mm-hmm. I would say you got to get it really wet, and I mean, dry concrete is set. So
I want to tell you, I used a plastic scraper. I just got them really wet, and I just knocked the big boogers off. And if there's shadows there, you might be able to bronze wool it afterwards. I don't know, man. That's really that's so sketchy, man. Concrete on glass is sketchy, man. I got a homeowner tried to blame us for a bunch of scratch glass when I worked for John. There was this custom home on one of the islands. This guy had concrete poured, so he went through with a fucking little razor blade, a regular razor blade, like a paint scraper, like
Yep.
the 1-inch slide in and out fucking blade, and scratched the shit out of these windows, and ended up trying to blame us for it. Just concrete is tough to deal with, man, if you don't know what you're doing.
Well, also keep in mind, concrete has a lot of lime in it, so if it's on the glass for a long period of time, and even if you get the aggregate or the concrete off the glass, it leaves burn marks in it.
All right, let's. I got a question here. Question for TJ. I have the Reach It Tactical 25 foot, a plus A 8 foot, a plus B 8 foot, and a shock stop 5 foot. So 46 feet pole. And I'm ready to get rid of all that shit. What sim pole would you recommend for about the same height? Phil's website is very confusing. Well, I would recommend personally, if you would like my personal opinion, I would recommend, if you are an owner-operator, Cameron, I would try to get yourself one of those Sim 22s, the ultra high mod, and then get a couple of his add-on sections for the bottom. Jason Lehman can handle that for you very, very well. Jason Lehman can steer you in the right direction with Philip purchasing the pole, and what pole to get. Like you could get an Excalibur, the ultra high mod Kevlar wrapped a fucking Excalibur right now. I think he's got that on sale for dirt cheap, and one of their extensions, and have the same exact amount of pole with just, I think if I'm correct, if you buy the Excalibur and an XT extension like I've got behind me over my shoulder right here, that will be the same exact height that you've got right now. One pole and one extension. And that is going to last you forever. The only reason why I say owner-operator, get to ultra-high mod, because it's super duper light and super flexible. But the Excalibur, if you buy one of those with one of those extensions that you could keep adding on to as you go, dude, you're going to have that thing forever. And it's still a very reasonably light pole, but it's super durable too. So
yeah, that'll probably be the last pole you buy unless you lose it or it gets stolen.
Philip asked, hello, Squeegee. I just joined the stream. Sorry if I'm asking a question out of turn. I am planning on buying my first water-fed pole. I have been looking at the Zero Micro 3K 40 foot and the Simpole Excalibur Ultra High Mod Kevlar 40 foot. Since you have experience with both poles, what are your thoughts? The Excalibur is it's a higher grade material than the Zero Micro 3K, so it's going to be a better material option for you. There's nothing wrong with the Zero pole. They've got deals going on too right now. It's all going to be personal preference as far as I'm concerned, but I'm a little more partial to the Simpole because I just love Phillips clamps. I love Phillips clamps, and I love the fact that Philip puts the most high quality material into his poles. His wall thickness is probably the thickest on the market. It's a really sweet ass pole, man. It's a very sweet ass pole. So, I mean, you can't really go wrong. But, yeah, Cameron, Jason will hook you up, man. Let him talk to you. Yeah, for the owner-operator, the Sim 22, man, it's super light, great finish, great clamps, and you can add to it. You can add to that pole. I think he's got the Sim 32 as well. The Sim 32, I think you can just buy. Yeah, you can buy the Kevlar extensions for it that he makes now. I mean, those are the only extensions he's going to be selling. I think I could be wrong about that, but the carbon fiber woven, what you want to call it, Kevlar finish, whatever the fuck that is on the outside, the Excalibur EXTs, those might be his only extensions, but man, they're awesome. It's just, but that Sim 22 is just so light, so rigid, and I think it's got something to do with the way the lengths of the sections are a little bit, they're different. The lengths are a little bit different than most people are used to. They're like 3.7 or 3.5 sections, 3 foot 5 inch sections, and it's just, I love it, man. It's a super, super awesome pole, man. That's my favorite pole. I love the Excalibur too. It's just, and to be honest with you, the Excalibur, half the Excalibur I use that, the first 4 sections all summer long on water-fed pole work. I use my Sim 22. The Excalibur EXT extensions are the only extensions, but they're good. They're solid. You'll love them. I use my Sim 22 for trad work like a sumbitch. I love that pole for trad work, like 2-story trad work. I love it. Richie loves it. It's just a super solid pole. I use my Excalibur pole for water-fed pole work because I'm a little rougher when I'm 3 foot 7 inch sections. Jason just corrected me. You do 90%, 99% residential. If you're not usually doing no more than like 2-story houses, like 24 foot or so, dude, the Sim 22 is where it's at, man. It's just a badass pole. But the Excalibur, I only used 4 sections of that pole on every house. Because the sections are 4 foot 7 inches. So it's just as light. What's cool about Phillips poles is if you want a pole, you're like, you know what, screw it, I want to buy a pole, and I don't have to buy another one. Buy the Excalibur. You buy the Excalibur, you only have to use as much of that as you want to. You don't have to carry that whole pole around. It has it has a rubber end defender on every section, and it comes apart at every section. So you only have to use as much as you want. Like I said, I do a lot of 2-story houses with casement windows that I primarily only use water-fed pole on because it's just faster. You know what I mean? And I'm doing them so often that a quick wash down with the water-fed pole is perfect. I only use 4 sections of that fucking pole all summer. And when I need all 32 feet of it, I've got it. You know what I mean? For my big commercial jobs, and then I've got my 2 extensions. You can't go wrong. It's the Excalibur, and the Sim pole is just, no matter which material you choose to go with, whatever pole you get in the mail, it's going to be the most versatile pole you ever had, and it's going to be durable, and the clamps are fucking bulletproof. They just are. I know Zero has changed their clamps. They're actually getting a little more bite on their poles too. They're both good poles, man. They're all good poles, but I'm a Sim pole guy. I just love them. I love the fucking clamps. They're just badass. Yeah, Jason says I baby my poles.
Yeah, compared to Jason.
Yeah, if you guys, Jason uses them to fucking set off nuclear bombs. Yeah, he's a retired pole vaulter. Yeah, he used to pole vault back in the day. But if any of you guys have any questions, or you want to get a Sim pole and you're having trouble with the website, get a hold of Jason. I know Philip has had one guy working on a site. Now I think he's got another guy working on it. I don't know, man. Whatever it is, it's really, I don't know. It's a really fucked up scenario. Unfortunately, Philip has a really good pole and he's super eccentric, and it's going to be really hard to get a hold of, wrangle him down to try to make any sense of anything that he's doing.
Did you see, did he send you that video in Messenger the other day, Phil, where he had, I think he sold a guy a pole and then agreed to go out and give him the ropes on it, and they had 2 systems running through 1 tank or something, and he got, dude, that guy had pumps and then more pumps and then batteries and then a generator, and then he's walking along with the video and he drops the phone, and I'm just like, it's like a moth to the flame. Yeah. You gotta watch.
Yeah,
you know
yeah. But I can say this, as eccentric and as out of the fucking box Philip Alexander is, his pole, anyone, I'm telling you, anyone that's got one, get a hold of him. Jason Lehman, me, Richie Blue, Mike Nichols. There's so many guys that have Sim poles that have had their hands up. They're top quality. They are top quality. He does not spare any expense in the design. It is top of the line materials. You're not gonna, like, I know that that CWC guy has poles that look like Phillips, but they aren't. They look like Phillips. They're not built like Phillips. Like, if I've got a video on my phone of that Kevlar pole that they put out, it is a fucking noodle.
Yeah.
Compared to the Excalibur, they look the same, but they're not the same poles.
Yeah.
They're not the same. They are not built the same.
The wall thickness is probably different.
The wall thickness is different. Philip does not he doesn't skimp on that stuff. He's, he
Yeah.
wants to build you something. He wants to be the best. He wants to have the best pole. That is Phillips, the Simpole's mission statement, that he wants to be the best pole. That's what he doesn't want it to be, the cheapest pole. He doesn't want it to be this. He wants it to be the lightest, most rigid pole on the market. That's what he wants. So, you gotta dig that. David Kaznuch's got a sim pole. Does anyone know where I can get a pole tip for dirt daubers and spiders' nests? No, I do not. Just buy a Tucker brush. Would you recommend buying another set of clamps for backups just in case? If you're talking about for Phillips sim pole, no.
If you're a single owner operator, those clamps are going to outlast everything.
Yeah, they're actually, it's real stainless steel. It's not the rusty kind of stainless steel. I'm telling you, Phillips. I thought his pricing was super good, honestly. Is this Philip Alexander?
I know. I was looking at that first, and I'm like, wait a minute.
Philip made another name.
It's my alter ego, Phil. I'm not Phil. I'm Philip.
Oh my God! If I find out that is you, Philip, I swear to God. That is so.
Like having your mom.
Yeah. It's Barbara. Mom? Yeah. No, it's Barbara. It's Barbara. 5 years. David Kaznuch has had his in the field, and I can tell you right now, dude. It's a you can. Yeah, his prices are awesome, man. His prices are awesome, and you're gonna get a quality
one up on these guys.
Philip Van Briggle.
What's
Philip Van Briggle? That's a fucking name. That's a made up name, dude. Philip Van Hundersnipes.
I'm gonna get a free commercial.
No, I'm kidding, dude. His name is Philip. Yeah, dude, they're awesome poles, man. I'm gonna tell you this right now, dude. I wouldn't tell you that it's an awesome pole if it wasn't actually an honest pole. Honestly, a good pole. I wouldn't tell you guys that. I wouldn't tell you that the gunslinger that we fucking prototyped was a good fucking bucket on a belt if it wasn't. It just turned out when it was shipped to you, they weren't. You know what I'm saying? That's just all there is to it. I wouldn't tell you guys that stuff, man. Seriously. I wouldn't tell you guys. It's a quality pole, and there's more than just me saying that. Everybody that has gone out and bought one of these poles, even Phillips Trad pole, guys will tell you, man, it's really, really, it's high quality shit. Philip doesn't spare any expense on it. I don't think that Perry makes a bad pole either. I just think his clamps suck. They suck. They've always sucked. They're just not good clamps.
The fit and finish on the pole itself is fine.
Nice. It's just the clamps are not.
I don't like the fact that the reach only comes apart every 3 sections.
Yes.
I never understood why somebody would do that.
Yeah.
Okay. And I don't understand why certain sections that don't come apart, that you can open the clamp and pull it apart, don't have an end defender in them. When everything, don't tell me about the weight of the end defender. We want to make it light. That thing weighs nothing.
Yeah.
It's like having 2 pennies in your pocket difference.
I think the way that he builds his poles in the sections, like one at the top, you gotta put the plus A in and then stick the fucking actual number 1 section in the top of the fucking A. You know what I mean? And then you put the bottom 3 pole, and then you put a B in it, and then put your pole on it, and then put it when you could just easily just stack them on the bottom.
Well, listen, adding weight to the middle and the top of the pole is not the way to go, especially not even on a mini. It's not as bad as on a full length pole. Now everybody's making the short poles, 4 foot, 4.7, 4.3, 5 foot, whatever, which I like those shorter sections. They're more rigid. Okay. Less space between the clamps. It only makes sense. I was of the opinion differently when I first saw it because being 5'5", it's hard to extend that pole, honestly. Okay. And reach the clamps to put the next section up. But I was like, I don't like having all these clamps on the pole, but now using the shorter poles, I see where the value is to having a short pole with more clamps. It only makes sense. You know,
on the website is the Excalibur pole under solar cell pole, dude. I don't know, man. Unfortunately, Philip has gone off the deep end with that fucking solar panel, dude. Now it's like that's his. That solar panel dude is wanting to talk about Philip's pole a whole bunch because he sent him one or whatever, and now, you know, it's a solar panel cleaning pole. Of course, you know, he's just trying to sell them. He's got a bunch of them. I know they're on sale. Again, just reach out to me or fucking Jason, and maybe Jason. Jason's got more patience for Philip than I do.
Yeah. The best thing you could do is reach out to either, you know, TJ or Jason. They can just screenshot what it is that you should be getting and send it to you. Because I've even been to the website for a while. It was cleaned up, and now it's getting out of control again.
Yeah, one of my viewers that watches the podcast but doesn't get on social media, he texted me. He's like, "Hey man, I want to get a sim pole. What do I do?" And I just got a hold of Philip, and I was like, "Listen, man, this is the dude's name. This is what he's fucking looking for. Selling this, and get your head out of your ass, and you know he'll get it taken over. You know what I mean? The way he'll take care of you, man. Me and Jason will make sure you guys are taken care of. If anyone here has any questions or they want to buy a sim pole, you can go to www.simpole.com, get super fucking confused, find the pole you want, get a hold of Jason, and he'll make sure you get the pole that you want. So that would be my suggestion. Yeah, the Reach It, dude. That I thought. See, I waited a long time. I bought the A and the C because fucking Perry told me that's what to get. So I bought that, and it was a fucking noodle in the center. And I was like, man, you know, you told me to buy. Oh no, what we found out is that you should either buy multiples of A or multiples of B. The C is really, you know, this, that, and the third. I'm like, all right, well, cool. So finally, Mark and fucking Richie tried to smooth all the icing over because I wanted to beat Perry's ass in the parking lot at his own event. But and they stopped me. They conned him into fucking sending me a plus B, and I think what it was is I think Richie paid for that.
I think he did, yeah.
I think Richie paid for that plus B section and had Perry send it to me because Richie felt like he's like, man, you know, I did a lot of marketing for Perry for nothing, and you know, I did a lot. I talked about it on my podcast. I did videos. I defended it on the internet. We were doing ads all the time for it, and Richie felt like I needed to be compensated in some kind of way, so he got me a B. I put the B in the poll, and it was fucking trizash. It was garbage. I was disappointed instantly. That's when I started looking around.
If you remember, he stretched one of those. I think he stretched out a Procision with A, B, and C in it in a video, and you could see the thing.
Yeah.
Was freaking out at every joint, basically. Went not on the pole, but on the extension pieces. Mm-hmm. You know, and like you and Phil, you have said, and obviously Phil's now doing, the way to make the pole longer is to add pieces to the bottom, not to the middle, not to the top. Mm-hmm. You know, I mean, it just doesn't work. You know, I mean, I lent out my C section to my buddy that lives north of me. And I said, how did it work for you? I've never used it, to be honest. I paid for it. I've never used it. And he goes, the problem is it's like a fucking jigsaw puzzle. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, I didn't know which side is up. There's a clamp at the bottom. There's a clamp at the top. He goes, when I figured it out, it worked okay. You know, but I got this fucking clamp in my hand because of the way it goes together. And then you can't collapse it all the way because it's a pole within a pole.
Right.
It just, you know.
Yeah, it just gets to be too much to be fucking fiddle fart fucking around taking that thing apart when you could just drop the sections off the fucking bottom as you're bringing the pole down.
Well, you know what? The one thing I find is on my poles that don't completely come apart, it's like piece ladders. Unless you have that half piece, it's never the right height.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I need to get another 1.5 feet out of this pole so I'm not standing up in the guy's bushes to do the job. But so I have to add another 6 feet to it to get that last 1 foot. It just, I never, like I said, a pole that comes apart in every section is the way to go.
Yeah.
For me.
Yeah.
You know,
and if you're at a point where you need to, like the pole that you buy is not long enough, then I could see adding 6-foot sections to that. Because you're clearly you need a fucking super tall pole. You know what I mean? If you're going over 30 foot, you want that bitch stretched out anyways to get a good scrub on the glass. But if you're talking about the main section of the pole, the 8 clamps, that fucker should pull apart at every section. Or why the fuck are you doing it?
Yeah.
So that's just my personal opinion. It just makes the pole then that takes away all the fatigue is out of the window because you're only using as much of the pole as you need to use.
Yeah. What do you need to carry? Well, you know what? But rumor has it they're making a system that hooks to your belt, and you could carry the pole, the extra pieces. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But I want a belt. I want to be able to take every section out. Let's say there's 6 sections to a piece, and I only need 3. I want to rock around with 3 pieces around me.
I don't even want to do that. I want an attachment to put my truck on my belt, so I don't ever have to walk away from my truck.
I know. Why would you have look?
Truck on a belt.
If you're in a place,
you can put your pole on your belt. You can put your truck on your belt. Why don't he make a water-fed pole machine on a belt? That's a good idea.
That's a good idea. But like for Richie, I know Richie. I've had conversation with about him. Certain places in California, it's hard to find parking, or you have to pay a meter. So why wouldn't he just bring his truck with him?
What they need to this is I'm gonna lay down some fucking science here. This is what they should do. The guys over at Maker Products should get a hold of Philip Alexander and buy Philip Alexander out of Simpole and just hire him on as a consultant. Use his secret formula for water-fed poles and just make Maker Products poles.
I got to tell you, that's one of the smartest things I've heard you ever say. Because they could market the living shit out of that without all the bullshit.
Yep.
Yep. Yeah. And you know what? The problem with...
And I love Philip, but I just feel like the social media world has passed him by. You know what I mean? He's not aware of what the damage he's causing to a very, very, very good product.
Well, here's the thing, T. If you think about, let's just say hypothetically, and I have zero information on the way the figures work, but I'm going to say this again, hypothetically. If Philip makes 50% on the pole, right? Mm-hmm. But because Philip doesn't have the buying power that most other manufacturers don't have, if Maker Products can get the buying power, Phil can still take 50% of that pole, and everybody can still make money. You understand what I'm getting at here? Yeah. Or if Phil can make 50% on a pole,
or Maker Products could just fucking be the distributor for him. Buy the fucking poles from him, put them in the store to sell them for him, because the dude cannot. I'm telling you, once the dude. You could call him. You could still call them Simpoles. Just Simpoles by Maker Products. There you go. Done.
Yeah. Well, part of the
I love Philip. Philip is a fucking awesome fucking guy.
I do too, but his aggressive marketing
is not
pisses
working.
People off.
It's not working. I'm just tossing that out there, man. If that'd be cool if that, and I know I might be opening a can of worms, but if they could get that under that umbrella somehow and help, just buy the fucking poles from him and sell them for him.
If you have listened to the stories, Chris and Alex have tried.
Chris and Alex have tried.
Yeah,
I have tried. Jason Lehman has tried. Everyone has tried, but maybe he just needs to sell his secret formula for poles. Just sell it.
Yeah. To
someone to get your legacy out there. Simpole.
Yep.
Or just call him Alexander's, Philip Alexander poles.
Yeah.
Or you just because his legacy is going to get ruined. He's got a great fucking product that is a game changer, man. It is an awesome pole, man. It's changed the way that I clean windows. I don't get on ladders like I used to. Ever since I fucking put that trad tip in the end of that Sim 22 and started high flying shit.
Well, if you sent out a survey or just walked up to guys who are not on Facebook or listen to the podcast and started talking about in other states window cleaning poles, the first thing they're going to say, Gardner, they're going to say Reach It. Simpole deserves to be a household name. Yeah. The problem is in the distribution of the pole.
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
Sim what? Yeah. Yeah.
Everybody knows what a zero pole is. Everyone knows what a
Gardner
is. Everyone knows what a reach it
Tucker.
is. Everyone knows what a Tucker pole is. Nobody knows what a sim pole is, and that's unfortunate because in my opinion, it's the fucking 4GT of fucking window cleaning poles. That's what it is. It's a high performance, purpose built, high quality fucking window cleaning pole. It just is.
Yeah.
It just is.
Yeah.
They're awesome. They're awesome poles. So, it is what it is. You ain't gotta like it, but it is what it is.
No doubt.
So yeah, man, this has been awesome. We've been away for a while. We'll come back again. I don't know if we're gonna be doing them on Sunday. I think it's just easier through the week. I feel like we get more people, and Sunday is just a bad day for a show.
You know what it is? Is again, it goes back to me personally. My Sunday, it's rougher because going back to work and all that I talked about before. But Wednesday is a nice night because we've been through 2 or 3 days of window cleaning already.
Yeah, we got shit to talk about.
Like, I got a funny story to tell you real quick.
Go ahead.
It's funny. It's actually sad, and this goes out to anybody that does pressure washing. I got called to a job beginning of the week, and when I get to this estate, it was probably a $15 million estate, and it had the stone around the pool was what they call, I don't know if you have it up there, it's called coquina stone. It's a very soft stone that looks like coral rock, okay? And it's very expensive. It's hard to pressure clean because you could blow it apart. It's very soft. So I go to this house because they said, a glass installer said, Mark, you need to come see this because nobody can figure out what's going on with this guy's windows. So I walk into the backyard. I make the appointment. I'm walking to the backyard, and when I get back there, I have the glass installer guy that I know, and then I have the homeowner, his wife, and then there's a contractor there. And the first thing I notice is that the coquina stone is bright white, beautiful. Okay, and because it was the sun was on it, it was blinding my eyes. So I walk back there, I look at the windows, and there's spots all over the windows. And then I noticed the same spots. It had these teal green wooden frames, really nice carpentry work. They had spots on it. And I go, so first thing I'm going to say is this. The pool deck is beautiful. And then they're looking at me like, ooh, I thought this guy's a specialist. And I go, and the reason I say that is because I can tell you right now, in looking at this for 4 seconds, somebody acid washed this pool deck and blew it all over the windows and all over the frames. So, like light bulbs were turning on. Oh my God, that's right. We had that guy here 2 weeks ago. I go, is that when the spots showed up? Yes. Well, when we called him, he came over and he said, oh, you just need to call your window cleaner. It rubs right out. So he takes his finger and he puts it on one of the spots, which looked like gray little spots everywhere, and it went away. And then the guy goes, so I called my window cleaner, and he came out and he scrubbed all the windows, and he was using some steel wool and it wouldn't come out. And I go, well, what that pressure cleaner didn't realize, after he burned your glass, he then took his finger that has oil on it and he masked that stain by putting his finger on it. And guess what? As soon as his finger oil dries away, the stain's still there.
Right.
So I actually sampled restoration on it, and I don't know if I'm going to get it, but because now there's going to be a lawsuit. At this point, they don't, the homeowner guy was like, oh, Mark could fix this. I was like, well, the edges are going to be tight, but, we'll make it look good. And he was all about that and just cutting, let's just get this done. And then I'll have the painter come out and repaint all the frames and back charge this guy. Well, the wife was like, oh, no. We ain't having that. She wants all new windows. And this is like $40,000 worth of impact glass. Oh, shit. I'm like, look, the guy that came back here and is not educated enough to know that you don't blow acid on glass is not going to have $40,000 to pay for your windows, honey. Yeah. So I'm kind of waiting to see. So the moral of the story is you guys that are dabbling in pressure cleaning or are pressure cleaners, be very careful. If you get that stuff on the glass, immediately rinse it and you'll be fine.
Right.
But it's when you go in there like a bull in a china shop and blow that shit all over there and leave, and then the sun hits it, it's going to be a pain in the butt. Yeah.
Surely is, boy. Surely is, boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, buddy. So, yeah, I don't know. We'll be back probably again next Wednesday,
Or you never know. We might get a wild hair up our ass and do one tomorrow.
Yeah, you never know. Yeah, you never know.
Stay tuned, bitches.
Yeah, you know how we do.
Yeah. Kick
I
that
pooped
mule,
my
Lee.
pants once. You know, my
We
sphincter
need
didn't
music.
work.
Can we
I don't
can't play
know.
music?
No, you said kick that mule, Lee, so I played that super awesome clip that we got.
I pooped my
Okay.
pants once. You know,
Cool
my
beans,
sphincter
man.
didn't work.
We
I
good?
don't know.
I pooped my pad once. Yeah, so yeah, I gotta figure that out. I don't know if we'll be able to play music on here or not, but we gotta figure that
I think
out.
you could pay. Yeah, you can play like 12 seconds of music without paying
okay.
royalties or something.
Okay.
Then that ain't gonna work.
Well, if
unless
you guys,
we become
unless we
singer
become big
songwriters.
time, unless we become
Yeah.
big time, and we can afford to play the whole thing. You know what I mean?
Yes. Yes.
And the way you guys can help us go big time is to go to www.patreon.com/Squeegee Life and sponsor the broadcast here, guys. You help us pay for it, and you're going to get awesome rewards, as some of our patrons will find out soon. We're going to get something cool in the mail. But
Yeah, boy.
we'll see you guys soon, man. You guys are awesome, and we really appreciate all you guys. We'll see you again
Guys,
soon.
be safe out there.
Peace,
Peace. Later.
Later, man.